Welcome to Fantasia, home of the Melodias. My name's Azallea, and today, gonna be bringing you guys another playtesting video. Now this time, we are gonna be working with my Lunalight deck. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into this. So starting off, we're gonna go ahead and draw our 5 cards. The female Robin cipher card at the top of your screen is going to act as the field center zone, so that's what that is. Now looking at our hand, we opened with a copy of White Rabbit, Tiger, Kaleido Chick, and Black Sheep, along with a copy of Fire Formation Tenki. So this is actually a pretty decent hand. Now although Lunalights do prefer going second, at least pure variants do, I'm going to showcase the possibilities of what you can do when going first. Of course, you can always expand on these boards and go ahead and build something a little bit more powerful and more offensive when you're going second, but the general premise of these plays still stand. So the first thing that I'm going to do is activate Lunalight Black Sheep's effect in my hand to go ahead and search out a copy of Polymerization from my deck. Then I'm going to normal summon my Lunalight Kaleido Chick, and I'm going to activate her effect to send a Lunalight monster from my deck to the graveyard. Keep in mind that this effect is actually a cost, so you get to send your monster regardless whether or not your opponent has Solemn Strikes, Effect Veilers, and so on and so forth. So Kaleido Chick goes ahead and sends a copy of Wolf from my deck to the graveyard, and you'll see why I chose to get Wolf in just a bit. Now I'm going to scale my Lunalight Tiger in my left pendulum scale. Doesn't really matter which one you put her in, but we're going to activate her effect to go ahead and special summon our Lunalight Black Sheep back from the graveyard. Next, we're going to go ahead and activate our Polymerization from the hand to go ahead and go into a fusion summon, and the monster that we're of course going to go into is going to be a copy of Lunalight Cat Dancer. Now after we summon Lunalight Cat Dancer, we can go ahead and activate the effects of our Lunalight Black Sheep and our Lunalight Kaleido Chick. Kaleido Chick is going to activate as Chain Link 2, adding the Polymerization back from my graveyard to my hand, and then my Black Sheep's going to act as Chain Link 1 and add the Lunalight Wolf that we sent earlier from the graveyard back to my hand as well. So we're just recovering some resources and making sure that we don't go 2- when trying to establish our field. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is activate a copy of Fire Formation Tenki, which allows me to search for any Lunalight monster, bar Lunalight Wolf, from my deck and add it to my hand. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and search out for a copy of Lunalight Blue Cat. Next, I'm going to activate my Lunalight Wolf in the right pendulum scale, and I'm going to go for a pendulum summon. This time I'm going to go ahead and pendulum summon out the Lunalight Blue Cat out from my hand. And now this field is pretty much complete. We have a Lunalight Cat Dancer that can't be destroyed by battle, and we have a Lunalight Blue Cat that can help us float. We have a copy of White Rabbit and Polymerization in our hand, and that is really good for next turn's follow-up plays. If our Cat Dancer gets destroyed, we can always bring her back with either Tiger or our White Rabbit, and we still have a Polymerization to go for some fusion plays, as well as Lunalight Wolf as well. So looking at our second opening hand, we open with a copy of Polymerization, Perfume, Monster Reborn, Tenki, and Lunalight Tiger. So the first things first, we're going to go ahead and activate our Tenki from our hand to go ahead and go for a search. Now the monster I'm going to search for in this case is definitely going to be a copy of Lunalight Kaleido Chick, because we don't really have any other monsters to work with, and Kaleido Chick helps us in our deck set up our graveyard, as well as combos really well with Lunalight Tiger to go for some XYZs, links, or potentially even fusions. So I'm going to go ahead and normal summon my Lunalight Kaleido Chick, and then use her effect to send a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep from my deck to the graveyard. This is going to be really good setup for me, because I have that Lunalight Tiger that's currently in my hand. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate a copy of Lunalight Perfume, targeting the Lunalight Black Sheep that's in the graveyard, and I'm going to special summon it back to my side of the field. Now, the reason why I went for the Lunalight Perfume instead of the Lunalight Tiger in this case was because you want Perfume in the graveyard, especially for its search effect. So next thing I'm going to do is use that Polymerization that I had in my opening hand to go ahead and fuse my Lunalight Kaleido Chick and my Lunalight Black Sheep together to fusion summon for my Lunalight Cat Dancer. Now, when they are used as fusion material, I'm going to go ahead and use Black Sheep as Chainlink 1 and Kaleidochick as Chainlink 2, adding back the polymerization and the Kaleidochick from my graveyard back to my hand, just recovering those cards. It's very important that you don't forget these effects. Next thing I'm going to do is activate the Lunalight perfume that's in my graveyard, and I'm going to discard my Lunalight Kaleidochick from my hand to the graveyard as a cost to go ahead and search for my Lunalight monster. So the good thing about Lunalight perfume is that you can actually go ahead and search for things like Lunalight Wolf, which Fire Formation Tenki cannot because Wolf is too high of a level. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Lunalight Wolf out from my deck and add it to my hand. Now this opens up a multitude of plays just like last time. So I could easily go for things like Pendulum Summons, or I can even go and use her Miracle Fusion effect later to go for fusion plays if you so desire. But before we go ahead and do any of that, we're going to activate our Lunalight Tiger in our Pendulum Scale and activate her effect to special summon the Kaleidochick out from our graveyard. And even though her effect is negated, because she sends as a cost, we can still activate Lunalight Kaleidochick's effect to go ahead and send a copy of Lunalight Crimson Fox from our deck to the graveyard. This is very important when playing Lunalights because you want to have that targeting protection available to you. Okay, so now that we have our Lunalight Cat Dancer and our Lunalight Kaleidochick on our side of the field, we can send them both to the graveyard to go ahead and conduct a Link Summon. So I'm going to send both of those to the graveyard to go ahead and special summon out a copy of Firefighting Darumidal. Now Darumidal is a fantastic monster for this deck because the fact that you can use it as spell and trap removal if your opponent has any back row and you're going second, or in this case you can just use it for its Link arrows. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Monster Reborn and special summon out my Lunalight Cat Dancer from my graveyard to my side of the field. And keep in mind that we still have a few other options available to us in our hand for some follow-up plays, and that includes a copy of Lunalight Wolf and Polymerization. So Lunalight Wolf, if you're going second, you could have easily made something like a Panther Dancer and used it offensively to clear out your opponent's boards. Okay, so taking a look at our third opening hand, we are going to go ahead and draw 5 cards, and we see that we opened up with a copy of Kaleidochick, Perfume, Blue Cat, a second Kaleidochick, and a copy of Fire Formation Tenki. So we have plenty of search options available to us, which is pretty good, but the unfortunate part is that we have 3 monsters in our hand that each require a normal summon, but don't worry, we have ways to get them out from our hand and onto the board and in circulation, so I'm going to show you how we can do that. So the first things first, we're going to go ahead and activate our Fire Formation Tenki to go ahead and search for a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep. Then using the Lunalight Black Sheep that we just searched out, we're going to discard it from our hand and search out a copy of Polymerization. The next thing we're going to do is normal summon our Lunalight Kaleidochick to our side of the field, and then activate her effect just like in previous examples, and we're going to go ahead and send our Lunalight Wolf from our deck to the graveyard. This is one of the key reasons why I only play 1 copy of Wolf, because she is so easy to tutor out from the deck and add back to your hand. So the next thing that we're going to do is activate our Lunalight Perfume and use that as a Monster Reborn on our Lunalight Black Sheep. This gets Lunalight Perfume into the graveyard, which allows us to go ahead and banish it from the graveyard to go for a search after we discard a card from our hand to the graveyard. So in this case, I'm going to discard a copy of Lunalight Blue Cat. This is one of the easiest ways to go ahead and get additional normal summons and monsters that are basically dead in your hand into your graveyard so you can go and get them into circulation. What better way to get them out from the graveyard than going for a copy of Lunalight Tiger, which we're going to search for with our Lunalight Perfume. But before we're going to go ahead and use Lunalight Tiger's effect, we're going to go ahead and activate a copy of Polymerization that we searched out earlier to fuse our Kaleidochick and Black Sheep together to go ahead and fusion summon for a copy of Lunalight Cat Dancer. Now keep in mind that you can of course put Lunalight Cat Dancer in defense position, and this is a very good defensive maneuver just in case your opponent can summon large beat sticks and still deal damage to you despite the fact that Lunalight Cat Dancer can't be destroyed by battle. So using Kaleidochick and Black Sheep's effect in the graveyard after they've been fused together, I'm going to add my Polymerization and my Lunalight Wolf from my graveyard back to my hand. The next thing that I'm going to do is activate my Lunalight Tiger in my Pendulum Scale, and then using her effect to revive, I'm going to bring back my Lunalight Blue Cat to my side of the field. Blue Cat's effects are negated, and she is destroyed during the end phase, which is something that's very important to keep in mind. The next thing I'm going to do is Pendulum Summon using my Lunalight Tiger and Lunalight Wolf in the Pendulum Scale, and I'm going to special summon out my Lunalight Kaleidochick from my hand. And then of course, using Kaleidochick's effect on the field, I can go ahead and activate it and send a copy of Lunalight Crimson Fox from my deck to the graveyard, and this is very important because it provides your Lunalight monsters with targeting protection. Now, during the end phase, Lunalight Blue Cat is destroyed by the effect of Lunalight Tiger's Pendulum Scale, and now she can go ahead and special summon out any Lunalight monster that we want from our deck to our side of the field, and in this case, the best option to go for is a copy of Lunalight Blue Cat. And this helps us keep a defensive board on our side of the field when going first. Even if your opponent gets over a Cat Dancer, they still have to get over a floating blue cat. And the last card that's left in our hand is a copy of Polymerization, which isn't really relevant right now, but on our next turn, we can go ahead and conduct some fusion plays, which is pretty nice, especially because we still have Tiger and Wolf in our Pendulum Scales as well. So looking at our next opening hand, it looks like we have a copy of White Rabbit, 2 copies of Tenki, 1 copy of Called by the Grave, and 1 copy of Raigeki. Now this is not a strong hand by any means, but we can still try our best to establish a first turn board that tries to protect your life points. So I'm going to go ahead and activate 1 copy of Fire Formation Tenki. Unfortunately, you can only activate 1 of those per turn, so the second copy is dead until it comes back to us on our next turn. I'm going to search for a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep, and then using Lunalight Black Sheep's effect in the hand, I'm going to discard her and add a copy of Polymerization from my deck to my hand. Now this can open up some fusion plays, so we can of course go into something like Lunalight Cat Dancer to help protect our life points. The next thing I'm going to do is normal summon our Lunalight White Rabbit, and then using her effect on the field, I'm going to special summon my Lunalight Black Sheep from my graveyard. And this puts 2 materials on the board for me to go ahead and use my Polymerization to fuse these 2 monsters together. The classic White Rabbit and Black Sheep combo is still very effective. So I'm going to go ahead and special summon a copy of Lunalight Cat Dancer from my extra deck to my side of the field, putting her defense position because I want to make sure I'm not taking any damage. Now unfortunately you can't recover the Polymerization from your graveyard, but you can still add back the White Rabbit from your graveyard to your hand using the effect of Lunalight Black Sheep for next turn. Keep in mind that I did have a copy of Called by the Grave, so we still have a form of disruption on our opponent's turn, which is kind of nice. I'm going to set that to my side of the field, and now I'm ending my turn with a copy of White Rabbit, Raigeki, and Tenki, so next turn we're going to have a much stronger play. But as for right now, this is all we can do, and that does it for this playtesting video. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please leave a like, subscribe for more Lunalight content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.